What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. First off, I want to apologize about no video yesterday. I had some other personal stuff come up and I just didn't have a chance to make a video, but we're diving into it today. We're going to have some really awesome stuff. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to check in on the current fusion event because I have finally gotten enough shards to get him fused. Let's dive right in. And welcome back, guys. Like I said, we have finally gotten enough shards to get ourselves a Rourke. We actually took first place in Mystery of Artifacts. As you can see, I am still going really hard on artifacts because that is definitely the biggest part of the game that I am struggling in. And so we finally have enough shards to get ourselves a Rourke. So here we go. We're going to pick him up. Let's go ahead and get our free 50 gems because of course that's really good. And this is really exciting because especially if you are newer to the game, you know, hopefully you're able to get your hands on a copy of Rourke because he is a great Northerner Lord. And if you don't have access to someone like Isolde, he's free, right? And Isolde's not free, you know, theoretically, if you weren't around during that time frame. So, yeah, I think this is really exciting. I'm super excited to see. I literally haven't looked at his kit because I wanted to wait until we picked him up to really be able to, you know, kind of see what we were working with. But we've got Rourke here. I'm really excited. He is a fighter, so he does have, you know, a small range, but that is okay. Let's take a look at the skills and kind of dive into everything. So first, let's start with the talent. So the talent is damage scales off of HP. The hero grants a shield equal to 10% of max HP to whoever casts an ultimate within one tile, lasting for 10 seconds. That's pretty interesting. I really like that, actually. Then, of course, we have the Lord skill, which is the same as Isolde's, right? Just 10% basic attributes, as well as the shield for 20% of max HP. Let's double check and make sure that that is the same. It should be the same. Yeah, it's exactly the same. So that's cool. So if you already have Isolde, the Lord skill's not really going to be that big of a difference, but he is a little bit different in the sense that he's a fighter instead of a defender. So he has a little bit of a different capabilities, potentially going to deal more damage, etc. We have the basic that just deals 100% damage to one enemy. Then we have the auto here. During the ultimate, dealing damage with a basic attack to every one target grants a shield equal to 1% of max HP for 5 seconds. The shield strength will not exceed 30% of max HP. So that's really interesting. So it actually can go up to 60% of max HP. And he can get up to 2% of max HP for every target. So that's pretty cool. Then we have the ultimate. Upon activation, basic attacks deal AoE damage to up to 8 targets in the front area instead. For every shield strength equal to 1% of max HP owned, increase damage by 1% up to 80%. So that's actually really interesting. So he's kind of got a similar thing to Valkyra, right? So Valkyra's ult increases her damage based on the shield, the strength of the shield that she has. So it's kind of similar to that, which is pretty cool. I like that. Definitely seems like he's going to be a champion worth building up and using in some locations, especially if you don't have Isolde already. He's going to be someone that's, you know, relatively good, I would think, in that department. Let's take a look at his stats because his base HP is 2361 at 4-star. And, you know, we can actually, let's see if it's been added. We haven't actually looked at Fastidious's website here, but we do have this. Let's see if he is on here yet. I don't know if he's been added. There we go. He has been added. So here is Rourke. So we can see he's got 23,042 base HP at max, right? So that's actually pretty good. Not too bad. You know, it's a ways off of being the top, but again, he is a fighter, so, you know, nothing super crazy. But yeah, he looks pretty interesting for sure. Let's take a look at the skills on here so you can see it a little bit better. Thunder of the North, that's the thing, right? Scales off HP, makes sense. Then we have Awakenings here. Shield received, extend the talent's effect range to 2 tiles. That's really cool. When an ally in the talent effect range catches an ultimate, increase the hero's max HP by 4%. Oh, that's interesting. Could be really good to place him as like a secondary, you know, like a secondary sort of tank in the way, like, you know, a support tank, right? So he's there to kind of buff up the tanks around him. That's pretty interesting. It's interesting indeed. I think we're going to take him. Let's just take him all the way, right? Let's just get him maxed. Because I really don't think that there's any reason not to do so. I've got plenty of these lying around. I have no reason to not just go ahead and get him maxed out. I want to give him a try in some places. So let's just go ahead and get him, you know, completed here. There is a 5 on him, so that is exciting. I am going to wait to level him up and build him and everything because I want to make sure I do that during events because I don't have enough stuff to build. So I don't really want to be building people outside of events unless you're going to make like a really crazy game changer for us. You know, but we can do things like we can level up his skills. We can get him, you know, kind of maxed out in that regard because that doesn't really give us too many things. So we'll go ahead and stop here. We need 6 more, so we'll have to get some more of those, obviously. But I do think we need to look at like what it is in terms of artifacts because he does do a lot of things based off of max HP. And so, you know, putting something on that increases max HP could be good. He does do AoE damage, so that's potential. Frigid Flame, probably not. Yeah, I don't know what would be a good artifact on him. I mean, this could potentially be good because he's gonna have a lot of shield, right? So like we could see some benefits from the shielding things. Could also just be a keen wisdom type of situation, but I'm not sure. We'll have to look into it. We'll definitely have a video of like actually building him out all the way. Once we, you know, get him where we have an event, we'll build him out the rest of the way and get him good to go. But I'm really excited about him. Hopefully you guys got your hands on him as well because I think he's a really good champion, you know, for everyone to get their hands on. We still have plenty of time. You know, we still have, you know, this little area right here. You can pick up shards. We have the Duel of the Champions that just started for another 5 shards. We also have the Forgotten Palace event going on for Gear Raid 3. So there's a good place to get 5 up to a potential 15 shards if you know, top these leaderboards. We also have currently the Tireless Raiders. So Tireless Raiders available, allowing you to do a ton of auto fights, you know, in Gear Raid 3 really quickly. So, you know, there's a good chance that you could just burn through a bunch of stamina and, you know, get a ton of stuff. I don't know if it's worth it for, you know, most people, but it could be worth it for you if that's something you're interested in. Gear Raid 3 is a great place. You get lots of good gear there, so definitely don't, you know, shy away from that. But there's a good chance you'll be able to get enough shards to get your own Rourke ready to go. And I think that that's definitely something that's exciting because I think he's going to be a good champion for people. I think he'll even have the potential to be better in some situations than Isolde because you don't always need a tank. Like, for example, if I go and I look at, you know, here, if I'm bringing, you know, Olag and Brokir, for example, or Crodor and Brokir, I don't necessarily need another tank in Isolde, so instead I could bring someone like Rourke to deal a little bit of damage in some certain situations. Could actually be really beneficial. Same thing goes for even like Hars, right? Hars is a tank. You may not always need another tank. Which is why someone like Elder exists, right? So it's the same thing. It's kind of like Rourke is the elder to Isolde's King Hars, right? Which I think is really interesting. I'm definitely excited to see him in combat and kind of see, you know, what he is capable of for sure. I think we'll see a lot of good stuff, but don't forget that this is currently going on right now. You do need 75 shards, so there is some shards that are still available. If we go and look at the events, we should be able to see here. So we are currently on the 5th, right? So we're right here. So we have Brave Conquest with 5 there. Duel of the Champions just started, so there's 10. Then you have Forgotten Palace, that's 15. Awakening of Heroes, that's 20. And Spiritual Ultra, that's another 10. So there's 30 free shards still available with the potential of, you know, 20 more from both Forgotten Palace and Awakening of Heroes. So, you know, assuming you've at least played the game a little bit, if you haven't already picked up your Rourke, you should be able to get your Rourke very easily, you know, if you have put in just a little bit of investment. But guys, that's going to be it for me today. I really hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. See ya.